Hello. Hello. Hi, guys and gals and non-binary pals. How are you? Oh, God, it's taking forever to load. See ya. So I don't know how well the stream's going to hold up today because, like, it's minus 40 and my town's been having tech issues all fucking day. We'll have our merry band of fucking idiots. Let's go. Just cooked up some dogs. I hope those dogs... I hope those weren't actual dogs. I've had a fucking day, dude. My day has been shit. I'm so happy that I got the video done and uploaded to Patreon before the power went out. Because I would have fucking cried if, like, the power died mid-upload. Like, holy shit, you have no idea. But yeah, tonight's a 40k night, so we're going to talk all things Warhammer. Stuff that interests you guys, stuff you guys have questions about, strategies, edgies, or like, whatnot.
Status reporter's busted, Captain. Best guess the cruiser's been shot down into that jungly planet. Typing, I think they calls it. Yikes!
Destroy the orcs! We cannot tolerate their interloping!
Fancy Eldar! I'll corrupt you good! More pointy elements for me trophy rack!
More pointy elements for my trophy rack!
I get what your dud fancy tarts close. I can feel, sir. Young Master Spookum.
You did a great job. Thank you. Tomorrow I gotta, like, start recording stuff for, the video. For, like, the new video. Which is just playing Hi-Fi Rush, so, like, it shouldn't be that hard. You're right a bit. I think when doing line reading, only what you think is important. Thanks, man. Nailbrain, come on, fucking fire. Yep. I'm here for lore. Alright.
Oh, there he is. I thought a sneaky git would be harder to find. Give him a kick and wake him up. Smash it. Aye, aye, boss. Knocked out. Did you really get duffed by these
All Things Warhammer sounds like the name of a playlist. It pretty much is. Oh, what the hell's my feelings, Captain? I never get duffed by pansies. Well, maybe you should snazz up your armor there. It's embarrassing. Speaking of snazzed up armor, I ripped my fucking pants today. God, I wasn't having a good day, chat. Today sucked. Today hated me specifically, and I don't know why. Why? Why right there? That's not cover. An Eldar turned to paste! A long walk, boys, but worth it.
That was fun. Okay, boys. best over there.
We scream wah, and it gives us a power boost. Yeet. But yeah, like, the video will be up on Friday. I can't guarantee that it will have the thumbnail ready to go. Because, Liefried, the artist, he is currently working on an animation for a music video, and I'm very proud of him for that. And that comes first, so my thumbnail comes last after that.
Snap that base over there! We can call in some boys!
Yeah, we can call in some boys.
I get your plan. Smash it! Sorry anymore. Just don't know it yet. This here is mine! Mine! On me way. Smash it! Smack! Where's me squiggle?
Give me shooters.
And the best part of the war is a good old mob of boys. Bad at darker, but great at stomping.
Great and
In the middle of
stupid.
a fight, their kit can be customized with all sorts of gubbins to make 'em more
Chili. So yeah, anything you guys want to know about Warhammer or what's going on lately? With any lore updates?
The kids have some kind of fancy shooters up there. Let's
Go punch 'em then.
demonstrate some brutal cunning and go round.
Some brutal conning and go round.
Takes more than that to stop me.
Anything about the Ark of Omens, Angron? I will sum up the book. Some dumbass thinks they can weaponize a thing. Angron says no and nukes himself, destroying everything. Prepare for book 3. That is the book. I'm not very impressed that that was Angron's big show, is that he showed up and basically nuked himself.
Poor souled grooves. Hey, some local boys are poking around. Oi, use lot. Use part of my crew now. Any problems with that, you talk to the complaints department. That's me gone, by the way.
Like, honestly, that was book 2 in its entirety, is just Angron goes and blows himself up to deny the Imperials a thing. The consequence of which is minuscule at best. Do orc meat taste good? No, actually, it tastes horrible. As one man put it who actually did try orc meat and regretted it almost immediately. There was no way to make it taste good.
Nice hit, huh, boss? And look, we saved this for ya, yeah? On me way. Watch the nearest fine. Got a job for us.
Working on that gear up, boss.
You got
I am a man who loves DACA.
That's more like it. Oi, along.
But yeah, orcs are incredibly... Their skin is described as leather. Like, their skin is very leathery.
Yeah, what is it?
and that, like, there's like no good part of them to eat. Basically, orcs are mushrooms at the end of the day, and they don't taste good. They're just rats at the end of the day, basically. Don't eat rats, kids. It's bad for your health. Oh, I get what you're doing. What do you think the fourth book will be called? I don't know. They're pretty much naming each book after every character, so like... I honestly have no clue. Chase me! Ace me, Susie, chase me!
What's the plan? It makes me feel like killing some more.
Yeah, like, I have no honest clue. We have Book Abaddon, Book Angron, Book Vashdor. I'm betting, like, Book 4 and 5 will be, like, the Alien and the Imperium response. So, like, probably Book Xeno and Book Imperium. Got it!
With their death guns would be nice. They can really dagger and make the battens all slow and suppressed.
I mean, yeah, it could be Book Farsight, but they are not going to kill Farsight. I saw that prediction of yours earlier. They will never kill Farsight.
Not that that's a bad thing.
Farsight is too popular of an army. So they will never ever kill the model. What about Yarick, though? He's No one was playing Yarick. No one played Steel Legion. Yarick was not a popular model. He was a popular character, but hardly anyone ever played him. And for good reason. He was not very good. Farsight is like the most bought Tau model. So why bother updating a model that's not popular? And really is inconsequential at the end of the day. Will we have rolls for the 8? I doubt we will. because the 8 are inside the Tau Codex. They're a Supreme Command detachment.
Looks like they've run out of gits for us to stop. Let's go find some more. On me way. Tough knob.
My God, they're so fucking slow. You know the 4 Space Marine boxes we got: Salamanders, Imperial Fists, Iron Hands, and White Scar or something? No, they were not. They were nothing but starter boxes to actually get people started, or to get people models that they didn't have. And not so good deal boxes. They were never meant to be anything more than that. Because by that same logic, then every other army should have gotten a book. But they did get a codex. It's called Codex Space Marine. They did get a book. They already got it. Yes, let's overindulge again. That was such a good idea before. They don't need to. I would have preferred if all the Space Marine characters were in the Space Marine book. I mean, a sub-faction one like the Wolves and the Angels got. I have already explained this. They already have them. GW has already deemed them to be okay enough. They have not changed those books at all, outside of the Ultramarines book, because Gullyman needed to be changed. Hi, Cold Hearth. Like, it's kind of the thing where it's just, like, it's unneeded. It's extremely unneeded for what, they're doing. Like, it's that... I would like an updated, like, index for vanilla chapters like Ultramarines, Imperial Fists, all that kind of stuff. I would like that very much, but GW is just like, you don't need it right now. Because Marines are not in a bad spot. I think the Heavy is dead. No, my Heavy's still alive. Look at him. He's doing a pretty good job. Smacking an elf around.
Your victory is hollow, Orc. You shall be washed away in the coming storm.
Ah.
Should have had Moria
Any boys this morning if you were gonna shoot my cruiser. Now look at ya! Boy, I'm gonna... Two things, one book, two of Arc of Omens was a straight Chaos win, which is rare, and the other was watching Adric's video on it and learning some lore on Angron. I can say the lore behind the new sword is funny. You mean how they made a Keeper of Secrets Angron's bitch? Which is basically just Slaanesh in a nutshell? Slaanesh is entirely made into everyone's bitch when it needs to be.
Captain Bloodflag, you have made quite a name for yourself looting the petty lords of this subsector.
I have.
You have also been known as a mercenary under their employ.
Exactly.
What's that to you? Why, you're kicking your boys here. You're one of
Those inquisitive type thingies. I thought you were more for killing orcs than paying them. Your hat, by the way.
I am here to offer you a business proposition. There is a man.
Guys.
I would like
We're in fucking business. EVL is in business.
The Blood Ravens. Perhaps you are familiar with him?
You one of those enemies from another. But Space Marines is dead hard. You want him?
Because if he isn't eliminated, this entire subsector will be obliterated. Then who will you loot, Captain? And who will you fight?
Obliteration, eh?
He can't say that'd be good for me and me boys. Wasn't it for old Bloodfag, eh?
Giving you money is pointless. Giving you technology is obviously out of the question. But I can give you a fight. 3 Imperial regiments, a battlefield of your choosing.
Throw in that hat, and you've got a deal!
Certainly not, green skin.
It was a Keeper of Secrets gladiator.
Your own posh humies and leave
You know what's out of it?
I's got more
Pointy here gets to stomp for blasting my ship and avoid anyways.
You do
Boss
not
versus
think
Cobra
Eldar
Chicken.
shot your
Who
ship
would win?
down, do you, Captain?
I'm not scared of a fucking goose,
You think you
but they're a
can
protected
suck
species,
cruiser,
so I can't do much to them.
I'll stomp your posh humie, alright. Then I'll make you wish you never heard of Captain Bloodflag.
So she pissed me off into doing the job. Got it. We won! Ah! The boss wise strong. But yeah, so Angron beat a gladiator for Slaanesh, but the gladiator was a Keeper of Secrets.
Toothy grins all round.
Well, you lot, old Brickfish is back. What I miss? Why the captain all grim?
Captain, I reckon that you me got your blood up with blasting a ship and all, but stopping a space marine boss. They don't come much harder than that. Couldn't you have got a bit more looted scrap out of it? Them Inquisition humies can't be trusted any further than they can be thrown. Which in
That one's case might be a bad example.
She's just trying to blast us no matter what kind of deals we's come to. This now is all in the same truck. That's cunning days, Captain. So now we can crash the truck. Right.
Oh, Mr. Nailbrain's the only one that can equip this. Okay. You don't need that. You need it. Because you got the bag o' nades.
another puny army of gits in the way to
Shitpost time. Bang, marry, kill, loyalist, Primarch edition.
Let's sog him quick.
Okay, bang, marry, kill. We fuck Fulgrim because he is a passionate lover. We marry Gulliman because he's a good boy. We kill Lorgar because fuck him.
You want to call that defection? Fine. We were dead men anyway. At least the cults promised something in return. This region is ours.
Kosek, Trazon is not a fucking Primarch. I mean all loyalist Primarchs. Oh, okay. Then in that case, bang Leman Russ. No, bang Jagatai. Bang Jagatai. Jagatai would be a good fuck. Marry Gulliman. Kill Ferrus Manus because fuck him. I said what I said. Boss versus options is like me with Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't want to know. Tree time.
First one there gets the best loot.
I do not have to explain myself. You all know why. I have chosen what I have chosen.
Give me the Daisinos. Even the birds expect kingdom.
But yeah, hi, Blue. Yeah, right now, Ark of Omens is okay. It's
What's the plan?
not anything big. We'll see what happens. The Vastor book will probably be a massive lore and info dump,
Oh, hell.
if anything.
All right, you fiends. I don't care who you are. Feel the might of the Baneblade.
No, Ferris does have lore. I hate him. I fucking despise what he did. Like,
We don't got enough DACA to sort
he's a Darwinist, like the strong shall survive kind of a thing. And that's a shitty way of thinking. And he's just an asshole, honestly.
Damnation. We can't get through here. Find another path.
It's not the fact that he has a lack of character, it's the fact that I don't like his character.
tough love. Oh, I get what you're doing. Who did that? They'll pay. On me way.
We know the Vastor book will involve the Dark Angels. It probably will, but we'll see how much it features them. Because, like, we've seen books that try to feature other armies before, like the Necron book for Psychic Awakening. That was supposed to be like a Necron book entirely, and it was nothing but the Inquisition and the Sisters of Battle with some Harlequin shit. He's gonna attack the warp? Why would he attack his own realm? That is a complete misunderstanding of what Vastor is trying to do. He's not trying to attack the warp. Aren't Dorn and the Khan Darwinists? The Khan is not someone who is the strong shall rule. Well, that is the culture of that is the culture of the Mongols. Is like they are like the strong and shit, as far as I'm aware. But Khan is a lot more complicated than that. He wants people to be free to live the lives they want to live. He does not want people to be oppressed. And he will act as the liberator when he needs to. He also hates hypocrites. I would not describe the Khan as a as a Darwinist. No. And Rogel Dorn is also not a Darwinist. He's an absolutist. To find a piece of the key. I don't think the Rock would have a piece of the key. Maybe the Dark Angels get involved because of some other shit, but I doubt it's because of the part of the key. Besides, the battle was not on the Rock in their box set, it was on a planet. So, obviously, Vashdor is going onto a planet, the Dark Angels find out about something, and they go and try to shoot him. The Rock is not that important of a place anymore.
Demolish our cannon. Open fire.
Smash it. I get what you're doing.
Full index reset for 10th edition? No. They will not get a full index. They are not going to do the indexes again. The reason they did the indexes originally is because they reshaped 40K as we know it. Like, they changed 40K. That's why they did the indexes. Like, they changed how the game plays. Thanks to 8th edition. Like, that's what they did. That's why they changed everything. They made 8th edition incredibly beginner-friendly and completely open to new players and stuff. And with the redoing of the rules and stuff, they had to change it so that way, like, people could play and people could understand. Because when you look at old 40K, holy shit, is it confusing to a lot of people. The best way to describe, like, how to hit things was take 7 and subtract it from your weapon and ballistic skill. Because, like, that was the only way I could make sense of what the fuck I was looking at half the time. And so when they redid all of 8th edition and have everybody's stats just be like weapon skill +2, ballistic skill +3, all that kind of stuff, it was out of a desperate need to fix the game because it was rules bloated to hell. 10th edition will be called 40K, 42K. I will scream if they do that because that's so fucking stupid. I like what they did last time, was like April Fool's was an actual model release, but they teased it with Abaddon coming back. That was a good joke in my opinion. Also, it's good for companies to make a beginner-friendly edition every now and again. Yep. That's pretty much why they did it, because, well, to be fair, 40K was dying. It was not getting new blood in at all, because the player base was, I'm just going to call it out for what it was. It was toxic as fuck to anybody who tried to join in, especially to those of them, especially to minority groups and the women. So, like, yeah, no, updating the game and getting rid of that elitist part of it, where it was like, oh, you have to be this smart to understand it, when in reality the game was just fucking broken and stupid. I do not have a problem with how 40K is done now at all. I have a problem with, like, the balancing problem they have, and that, like, the army itself is not good. It's just the arbitrary special abilities they get, which is fucking annoying most of the time. because, like, oh, this unit isn't good. The stratagem that they use is good. Like, there is no other reason to take, there is never a reason anymore to take non-Primaris infantry in a Space Marine army, because transhuman physiology, there's no point. Never take non-Primaris units. Just never do it anymore, because they don't get transhuman physiology. Oh, but you can customize... Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you can customize them, It just doesn't matter if you can customize Space Marine unit, like the old Space Marine units. It is always beneficial. It is more beneficial to take a Primaris unit because they're hardier and tougher than their old kit. There is no reason to ever play old kin again. Unless it's like Centurions. And that's way more annoying to me. If a 10th edition is to come out, I want a complete removal of the command point system, or an overhaul of it, so that way it's just universal abilities. So I ran into a Baka today. Why? Why do you say Baka? Just say a dickhead. Automa doesn't like the word idiot. Well, it let you say the word idiot. So I don't know about you. You can change one piece of art of 40k lore, be it in addition, making something canon or non-canon or whatever. What would you change?
A long walk, boys, but worth it.
So that's the thing about 40k. Unless specified otherwise, everything is canon. Like, Inquisitor Jacques Draco is not canon for very good reasons that I will not go into here because I do not want to get demonetized. Like, that's just how bad the situation is with that book. Think about Taka Taka dance meme. I haven't been on TikTok, guys! I haven't been on fucking TikTok! I stopped looking at it! I don't know anything about TikTok stuff anymore. I have stopped looking at it in general. I know nothing about what's going on it. I don't care about what's going on it. I have walked away from TikTok. I want nothing to do with the app anymore. Oh, it's on YouTube? The fuck is the Taka Taka dance? I'm not invested in memes. Nope, not interested. Fuck your memes. I've had a very bad day today. I don't want stupid memes. No, thank you. I'm good.
What do you mean we can't pursue any further? We can't let them get away? They can't escape?
Get 'em. But yeah, like, I have no idea what it is, nor do I care. I don't mean to come off as aggressive today, I'm just fucking tired and sad. Because I've just been having a bad fucking day. Oh, don't freeze on me, please. So this low-life person while grocery shopping was destroying meats and saying the BS thing about how killing animals is food. Oh, so it was an annoying vegan. We can just call them what they are. We make fun of vegans all the time. Have you ever seen the 1D4chan list of items in Trezon's vault? I personally like the meme of having, quote, 100% accurate, reliable information on the Alpha Legion. No, because I don't look up 4chan, because 4chan is a cesspool of fucking trash. Like, it is just a breeding ground for, like, horrific shit. Game, please stop having an aneurysm. I want to play, please. But yeah, don't let idiots like that, like, waste your time there, Blue. They're trying to get a rise out of people, and they're either just trolling, trying to troll and get a laugh, and just think they're funny when they're not. But like, don't worry about it. They were either a vegan just being a little bit of a bitch in like the real world, or they were just a troll trying to get attention. And most likely that person will face charges because you don't fuck with the company's profits like that. New idea for evil meme boss, can have a little DACA as a treat. Listen, chat, if you're very good, if you're very, very good, I will give you some DACA for Christmas, okay? Yeah, no, they were having that much of a meltdown. They were probably a vegan having a very bad day. So don't stress about it. They're fucking stupid. Burn them out, boys! I'll have to turn this game off because holy shit, is it like my stream is not having a good day. Like, I have like 7 notifications for like, oh god, this is not okay. I thought it was just stupid. It is stupid. People having reactions like that out in public. That specifically, by the way, like, if you see people just like destroying shit in like a supermarket and like making a big deal out of it or trying to just be funny, they're fucking idiots. They're just fucking stupid. Pay them no mind, they'll be dealt with right away. It's kind of scary how fast security just sneaks up on people. Get the damn stones!
There they are! This is it, you maggots! We'll bury you here!
But yeah, no, I do not like 4chan. Haha, racism funny, the website. That's not a joke. That's just racism. Anyone seen the trailer for Scream 6? Hey guys, let's kick a media franchise that should have died back in the 90s in its ass more. Yay! I'm bitter today, can you tell? I've had a day, I'm sorry.
Teleport is up and running, boss. Is it then? Tested it then, have you? Well, Captain,
I went to Walmart Sunday and have a handicap place and got yelled at for parking a handicap spot because I hate Walmart.
After you then, Mr. Nailbrain.
Uh,
I have no idea if that means it works. Oh well, here we go. Whoa!
chat, come on, please, not today. The Speak with Dead part. No, I have not seen it, guys. Guys, I've had no power for the past 3 hours. I have had literally fucking nothing to do all day.
Testing seems to show that this here teleporter can take us to planet called Daris. Oh, aye, yeah. That be the dusty one, Captain. Looks like we need to find some more teleporters on those planets to go any further.
I use Ziploc bags. On Monday, we discovered that, like, it could fit that. But yeah, guys, there are a few places that you should not get your 40k information from, and I'm going to list them off right here, right fucking now, okay? 1, 1D4chan. Though there are some good people on there, there are more bad than there are good, and they try to co-opt 40k into Nazism. Because they're so fucking stupid, they don't get the joke. So, a lot of 4chan, I would avoid it for any 40k information. Second, Arch Warhammer. He's just a fucking Nazi and a fucking piece of shit. Do not go to him, or anyone associated with him. Ugh. What's up, Sarah? You miss me. I'm coming. I'm coming, baby. Hello. Hello. I'm coming. Hello. Oh, yes, it's baby time. Baby time, it's baby time. Look at it, it's a baby time. Do do do. Hello. Hello, baby. Hello. I brought her back. I have a sense of freedom because I'm not held down by headphones. Majestic baby. Majestic. Don't worry, I got her. She's nice and safe. You're a good baby. Yes, you are such a good baby. She looks annoyed with me. You want down? You could have the other throne. Wha-bam. Oof. Just need to stretch. Ugh. Goodbye, baby. Mom will be home in like an hour. Calm down. I understand that you're lonely, but Mom will be home in like an hour. Psh. Silly cat. Living in a silly world because they're silly. You're silly! Yeah, you're silly. Oh, now you come back in? What do you want? What do you want now? Come back in? Come back in talking shit? Am I not good enough for you? Am I not? Just because I don't bring in as much as Mom does, doesn't mean I'm not worthless. I'm not worthless, right, chat? So, okay, 40K. And 30K. All the above. You would be a Link 5 or higher 35K beater that gets bigger with counters. No, I hate fucking counters. Counters are dumb. Also, stop trying to make me into a Yu-Gi-Oh! Archetype. It's not gonna work. Because I don't trust any of you fuckers to make it balanced. Y'all are like Matthew Ward. Y'all don't know how to make it balanced, if you like me. But yeah, no, we'll see what Arc of Omens brings. There's not a lot to really talk about with it. Because, like I said, the new Angron book is just Angron doing a thing and blowing himself up. Nothing really interesting happened. He just kind of shows up to die. And they get sent back to the warp. Which is really shitty, because like it feels like we're right now in a 40k dry spell as we wait for the Siege of Terra book to come out. Adric is pretty good, but they stress they are an entertainment over accuracy. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with like making a bit entertaining. Like, Brother Alphabusa, they're not exactly accurate on a lot of stuff when they did the Emperor's text-to-speech device, but it was fucking funny. It was just funny. Don't scratch the carpet! Don't get mad at me! Like, Brava Alphabusa, he did a fairly good job describing the lore in a very straightforward and non-complicated way. Like the Salamanders video, you basically got what they were. They were a chapter of pyromaniacs who were kind-hearted to a degree, and a little bit more based in humanity. All starting from the joke that the Emperor thought the his custody captain was being a racist. Hi, Moth Queen! When in reality, the Custodian's guard was like, no, like, seriously, they are coal black with red eyes. Like, I'm dead serious. Like, look. And it shows a picture of a salamander outside their armor, and they're like, oh, how fuck did that happen? I'm pretty sure, like, I didn't, like, fuck over my kids with, like, radiation burns. And, like, he goes on to explain, like, oh, it's the radiation from the planet, along with, like, the ash and soot that they live in constantly that gave them the literal coal black skin, along with glowing red eyes, like a Thrawn from the Thrawn books. Better to be funny and a little inaccurate than actually boring. Yeah, like I will always praise someone that can make talking about lore fun, or like have that enthusiasm behind them, where, like, it's actually fun to listen to them talk. 40k, the world's best example of how satire fails in capitalism. If only. If fucking only, right? So, yeah, like, 40k, again, is a satire of extremist views. The Imperium is meant to be a dark, like, it's supposed to be dark. And that, like, you're supposed to be like, oh, those guys were inspired by this group or this negative group, so on and so forth. Like how the orcs are just football hooligans. Pieces of shit that just, like, take a sport way too seriously and just seem to like punching each other a lot. The Eldar being the ultimate purists, the ultimate, oh, we're superior to you because we are an ancient race. The Necrons are literally just the ultimate nihilists who want to kill everybody. The Tyranids are just the ultimate form of, like, pest control. From my very little knowledge of Warhammer, would you rather have a beer with Mortarion? Horus all the way down, up and down Horus. Because you know what a drink with Horus is? It's an actual conversation where, like, you two are having a political, philosophical, all that kind of conversation back and forth, and you feel like you leave with a lot more than you started with. With Mortarion, it's just, the strong must survive. The strong will always come out on top. Along with a little bit of fucking poison in your drink, because, oh, you should be able to handle it, and then you start dying. Because he's an asshole. Morty's a bitch is what I'm saying. There is in the lore that Mortarion, so when we need to to talk about Mortarion a little bit here, you have to understand, like, where he grew up and then, like, what he came into. Because the Death Guard was not the Death Guard when Mortarion showed up. They were the Dusk Raiders. They were a fast-hitting, fast-attack army. they loved to raid at dawn, like at dusk, when like it was just at the point where everybody was changing. And it was just at that point of dusk where like you wouldn't see them coming. They were fast attack hitters. And then Mortarion showed up. And Mortarion grew up in warfare where you literally had to be able to like survive in the elements for extended periods of time while fighting the literal undead. So his tactics, when mixed with the Death Guard, when mixed with the Dusk Raiders, was a bit unfortunate because it was kind of like it became a culture clash because the Barbicians, along with Mortarion, were used to attrition warfare. They were used to like outlasting people, whereas the Dusk Raiders were like, back in my day, we rode on the motorcycle, and the motorcycle went vroom. Had no time for this attrition shit. And it basically became like the old boomer yelling at the Gen Zer, but in this case, like, the fuck can you do when the Primarch is the one giving the orders? And there's actually this really interesting lore tidbit that the Death Guard had called the Cups. And how the Cups work is that Mortarion believed in making sure that individual captains felt worthy. Like, they felt like they were rewarded for doing good work. Now, Mortarion was also the kind of asshole who fostered rivalries within his companies. And not good, healthy rivalries. Like, I'm going to one-up you not because it's a friendly competition, but because I'm better than you and you know it. Toxic rivalries. Very toxic. But the Cups was a way of Mortarion recognizing an officer. So what the Cups were is that it was a cup of literal poisons. Like, it was a concoction of the most deadliest poisons that you could, like, drink. Because Marines' immune systems and digestive systems could process that shit. It would just hurt. And so Mortarion would drink with his officers, with the Cups. It was a very interesting thing. Or as Russ would call it, a good ale. Is there an example of the inverse so we could have two legions that are like, what if Jagatai and Rogel Dorn swapped legions? Not really. So all the legions were genetically built up from that Primarch's DNA. So, like, you can't just put Lionel Johnson in charge of the World Eaters, because that's Angron's boys. And, because it makes no sense. Why would you give a legion over to a Primarch that is not genetically related to them? So a cup perfect for more extreme emo crowd? Yes. Pretty much. The Death Guard are just the tryhards, and it fucking hurts. Which Primarch do you think is the best 1v1 duelist, and which one do you think is the best general strategist? So we actually do have that answer. We actually did get that answer. Out of all of the Primarchs, it is said that Sanguinius was the best duelist. Sanguinius was the best fighter out of all of his brothers. He was undefeated in the ring when it came to all the Primarchs. Like, even Horus was like, I'm gonna not touch that with a 5-foot pole. And that was before all the chaos shit. Sanguinius was the best sword fighter, like the best fighter out of all of them. The best strategist was Lionel Johnson. Lionel was, because genetic relations is a terrible way to run an army. Thank you! Thank you very much. With Lionel Johnson, he was an actual strategist. You could give him a battle map, and he could most of the time accurately predict how a campaign will go down. There's a reason why and I said this before on many other streams, but Horus sent Lionel Johnson away not because he didn't think that, like, he couldn't beat him. It's the fact that, oh, we'd win, but the heresy would be ended because we fought him. Lionel Johnson was a perfect strategist. He would just kind of accept what he could and accept what he couldn't. And there's a reason he shattered the Night Lord's Legion, taking very little casualties in return for doing so. Like, the Dark Angels was the second biggest legion to come out of the Horus Heresy right after the Ultramarines. And that's because the Ultramarines had a good network that could rebuild their forces, rebuild their companies, and just resupply themselves, unlike the Dark Angels, who didn't have that. Why am I a fish? What happened to the lion? Did he leave in pure disappointment? Okay. Okay, so it's a little bit... Alright, so I'm going to explain what happened. So after the heresy, Lionel Johnson went back to Caliban and discovered that Luther, his right-hand man and father figure, betrayed him. And it led to a whole fucking battle on Caliban, where Caliban was breaking apart due to shenanigans that we figure out later, and a combined thing of the fleet just bombarding everything. But Lionel Johnson would fight Luther in one-on-one combat, mirroring the fight between the Emperor and Horus. Lionel came up short in that fight, because Luther was basically like a demon prince at that point. But Luther snapped out of it after he beat Lionel, because Lionel had a, like, master, what's his name again, from Kung Fu Panda? What's his name? I'm forgetting his name! Shifu! He had a Master Shifu moment and he couldn't hurt Luther. Yeah. Thank you, Bailiff. But Luther began to weep because what had he done? He literally had, like, an Anakin moment, like, what have I done? But actually, like, regretted his actions immediately. And the Chaos Gods, pissed off, took their power away from him. Planet breaks apart. Later on, the Dark Angels find Luther laughing, insane, and basically saying, the Watchers in the Dark took him. The Watchers in the Dark took him. And, of course, like, everyone's like, the fuck are you talking about? You insane old bastard. Turns out that Luther was actually not raving. He was raving like a lunatic, but he wasn't wrong. The Watchers in the Dark did take Lionel Johnson into the Fortress Monastery that the Dark Angels would make into the Rock. Right now, he is currently sleeping, waiting for a certain event to happen to wake up. Basically, if you're wondering what the reference is, he's King Arthur waiting to wake up. Just finished D&D. What is up, boss? I'm very tired and annoyed with today. But yeah, like, Lionel Johnson is not dead. He's not, like, missing like everyone else. We know where he is. It's just that the problem comes down to, when the fuck is GW gonna ring the alarm clock? Is Lion trying to be King Arthur? He is just a King Arthur reference at the end of the day, along with a reference of a gay poet. I did take the Games Workshop Space Marine quiz. While short, it gave me Iron Angel. Iron Angels? Never heard of that. Are you saying Iron Hands, Iron Warriors, Dark Angels, or Blood Angels? Which one are you talking about? I mean, they rang it for Robu Gullyman. They didn't ring it for Robu Gullyman. His elf waifu, along with his nerdy friend, came back. And slapped a bit of armor on him. Said, get your biggest dickus out here. We need you. And he came back with the biggest dickus. I took it a while back. Do you remember their colors? Do you remember their colors, Molth Queen? Because if you tell me their colors, I can narrow it down real fucking quick. A wooden brown and gold. Wooden brown? I think you might have gotten the Iron Warriors? Hold on, I'm gonna bring up a picture of them. Were you looking at this? Like, was it this? 'Cause that's not brown. They look brownish, though, so I don't blame you. Okay, Molth Queen. Molth Queen. Those are the Iron Warriors. They were the siege masters of the Horus Heresy and of 40k. These are the rivals to the Imperial Fists. What's their... So, basically, they are the 4th Legion. Their Primarch is the man-child that is Perturabo. They were the guys who basically... and were the only reason Horus got anything accomplished on Terra. Pretty much. So, to explain who they are, you have to look at their Primarch. Perturabo, we call him a man-child because he kind of acts like it. He's been a man who wants to be recognized for the glory that he has done. But he's such a cold and bitter asshole. The Legion itself, the 4th Legion, was one of resounding fame because they would always be the ones to take the hard tasks and never ask for credit. And they were, like, given tons of honors. They were seen as one of the best siege legions out there. And then Perturabo was brought back to the Legion. A man who was paranoid, a man who had higher expectations for them. And this factor alone set the history of the Legion on a downward fucking spiral. Perturabo ordered decimation. If you do not know what decimation is, it is a Roman thing. Well, a Greek and Roman thing. Decimation is you draw a number out of a hat. And if you draw that number is associated with a soldier. You are to beat the ever-loving shit out of that soldier until they are dead. And if you don't do it, we kill the whole lot of you. It is supposed to be an example of punishment of failure. Even though the 4th Legion had not failed up in that point. Yeah, 90% of the Legion kills 10% of the Legion. Basically. It was not good for their psyche, because they were such a strong brotherhood. And then Perturabo comes around, and basically treats them no better than the meat they walk into minefields. Yeah, pretty much. What are you doing, Space Bro? Ah! 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 Perturabo is it made his legion into entirely a creature of his own making. He would still take the hard tasks, but like to a point where it was atrocious. Because everything was numbers to Perturabo. Down from the highest Titan down to the lowliest soldier, it was numbers. He was cold, calculated. He always looked at a battlefield like a chessboard. What pawn can I sacrifice to go for the king? And he got results, but at the cost of his legion's loyalty, at the cost of their sanity, at the cost of their brotherhood. It was terrible. The Iron Warriors went from a respected legion to they're known as the literal grave diggers, the trench diggers, everything. They are in the muck. The Imperium even stopped sending them actual soldiers for like the Astra Militarum. Like the Imperial military stopped sending them soldiers because all they were using them for was clearing minefields because ordnance too expensive. So they just kept sending them penal legions to march into minefields because they couldn't be fucked to do it themselves. It was a waste of time to Perturabo to dig up mines. It was just more efficient to march men into them. And that did a lot. And when it came to getting promotions, it was who survived and who didn't, and who backstabbed you to get there. Is it ever explained why Purdy was such a jerk? Okay, so, reading his books. Perturabo is... There's an instance where he tried to understand people, and he couldn't. And then people used him to do terrible things. And he never really had a good mentor for failure. As an example, where he could create an immaculate statue, he just kind of half-assed the project, thinking like, oh, I already know how to build a statue. Perfectly symmetrical, all that kind of stuff. His adoptive brother slaved for 3 weeks over a statue, and his little brother won. And that pissed Perturabo off. And then Perturabo destroyed the statue in a fit of anger. And no one was willing to tell Perturabo, you're a little shit. Not to mention the constant assassination attempts on him, and the fact that he could see the Eye of Terror, and like the Eye of Terror, and it felt like it was mocking him. It wasn't a good environment for him. And so you could see, like, and he was used for war. Like, he never met any of the people that he was leading into battle. His dad, like his adoptive father, led all of his soldiers into battle, just following Perturabo's plans. Perturabo never got to talk to the people that he was sending into battle. He never got to hear their experiences. He never got to know them. So when all you see is a bunch of fucking dominoes, you just knock them over. Yeah, pretty much. And it doesn't help that he didn't talk about it. He would just, like, expect things. Like, he would expect the admiration of the crowd because I took this planet. When in reality, everyone's looking at the fucking casualty numbers and going, holy fuck! And he's standing there wanting to be praised, but not saying anything. So it just became like a self-fulfilling prophecy. oh, I need to do better than I was. So I need to go harder. I need the harder missions. Gets a ton of his men killed. Wins the day. Circle back to everybody seeing the fucking atrocious casualty numbers. No one's praising him because he's not saying anything. He just moves on. Repeat process. It is an entirely self-fulfilling prophecy. And it took its toll on the Iron Warriors because you didn't know if your squad mate was going to have his head blown off. So why make friends? Why make a brotherhood? And it came to a point where Perturabo was like, I literally can't rely on any officer in my corps because they're all a bunch of backstabbing idiots. Yeah, no shit they aren't, because the only way to survive is to be next to you. One guy actually called him out on that, and he shot him. Because how dare you talk back to me? You're superior. The Iron Warriors are a bunch of, like, fucking sad boys. Like, it sucks to be an Iron Warrior. And they knew it, too. Like, all of them were just praying and wishing that Perturabo would die. Like, there were some in their own corps who were like, please, 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 just blow his fucking head off, somebody. Gosh, wasted potential. Such wasted potential. Oh, fuck yes. The Iron Warriors are the best example of wasted potential. And the funniest thing is, they had the most loyalists out of the traitors. When they purged their legion of the loyalists, they forgot about all the fortresses they left behind. All of them. They also forgot their standing with the other legions, which saw them as meatbags, because they were no better than that to them. So a lot of the Iron Warriors sided with the loyalists, because fuck you. You piece of shit. What are we getting out of this? Just to be used and sacrificed on the realm of battle again and again? Fuck off with that! How'd you forget fortresses? How do you forget fortresses? Because they weren't important. They were garrisons. You don't care about a garrison. And when they came back, they had the balls to demand that the garrisons hand over everything. Those garrisons responded with, "Get fucked, traitor," and then fired upon them. And then Perturabo had to waste his time sieging his own fortresses. It's kind of funny. Especially when it came to the Silver Skull. It was fucking fantastic. This old, bitter fuck, who is basically like, in Space Marine years, he's like 25, but due to a battle with aliens, they aged him like a good few centuries. And Perturabo sends a fleet forward to go talk to them. It's like, oh, our Lord and Master Perturabo demands all the resources from this fortress, and that you return to the fleet. I heard what happened at Istavan. Get fucking bent, you bitch. How dare you speak about our Primarch that way? Launch the pods! Invade this hellhole of a planet! I'd like to see you try. It took Perturabo coming in to break that fortress open, and then that guy left with the 100 Marines he had left and dropped the fortress into a volcano. Because fuck you, I'm funny that way. It was so great. The Iron Warriors have some of the best characters in 40k that I've seen. Because they are painfully human. They're scared. They do not know if every engagement is going to be their last. Like, Space Marines know they're going to die. But it's way down the road, and every time they die in any other legion, it's seen as a tragedy. Like, they're like, no! Oh, how dare you! Revenge for my king in you foul Xenos! Or like, you filthy traitor of man! It's a tragedy to them. To an Iron Warrior, it's like, oh, Bob had his head picked off. What killed him? Autocannon. Was it funny? Not really. Fuck. What was his rank again? Sergeant. Dibs! That is essentially the conversation of the Iron Warriors. Fucking dibs. Iron Warriors, the Imperial Guard of Space Marines. Yeah, modern day Iron Warriors are characterized as still like the very grim, very taciturn individuals. But now that they don't really have to follow Perturabo, they're kind of just men without a war to fight. Like, they'll go raiding, they'll go do shit, they'll go burn down Imperial Fist Fortress because it pissed them off. But they really just don't know what to do with themselves. They're just mercenaries at the end of the day. There's a meme of a word bear telling an Iron Warrior, stop hitting our allies. And? No, the funniest point in any Horus Heresy book is in the book Fulgrim, where an Emperor's children and the Sons of Horus are digging a trench, and the Emperor's children just stops, puts his shovel down, looks at the fucking Sons of Horus, and says, why the fuck aren't the Iron Warriors doing this? Loyal Iron Warriors deserve a better Primarch. Oh, they fucking do. And they did, actually. The Silver Skull Space Marine chapter in Modern 40k is made up of the remnants of the Loyalist Iron Warriors that Guilliman secretly swept under the rug. He swept them under the rug and took them under his wing because they were actually useful, and he actually saw their worth and value. Probably not how it works, but what was Bob's weapon again? Heavy bolter. Dibs! Yeah, no, that's basically what it was. It was just dibs. Dude. Oh, but like there's this one really disturbing moment in Angel Exterminatus. It's at the beginning of the book. But a Iron Warriors Tetrarch, so one of their captains. Like one of the captains who's directly under Perturabo. Inside his the Trident, which is essentially like his command squad. One of them was frustrated with this Imperial Fist Fortress and got a lot of his men killed needlessly. And that pissed Perturabo off because he's like, you're supposed to be way fucking better than that. There was obviously a better way and you fell into a very obvious trap. So I'm demoting you. And this officer's like, wait, what? You will become a line soldier again. So you don't need that advanced armor anymore. Now, chat, I need you to understand something about Space Marine Power Armor. It is connected to your nervous system directly. It's a whole process to remove it. It is painful if it gets ripped off of you. Perturabo grabbed this man by the fucking throat and tore his armor off of him. Piece by bloody piece in front of everyone. And his agonized screams were meant to be a lesson of not to fuck up again. Even though no one could have saw that the Imperial Fists would have mined their own fucking wall. How did the Blood Angels come out? Not very good. So, the Blood Angels were... How do I put this? So the Horus Heresy, the Blood Angels story can be summed up as get fucked over by Horus, end up in Ultramar, be saved by the Ultramarines, then be pushed out towards Terra because the Dark Angels of the Ultramarines needed them to do it. And then be the last stand for the Imperial Palace. Oh, Blood Ravens. Right now they're okay. So the ending in Dawn of War Retribution, the Blood Ravens campaign is canon. The others are not. Gabriel is chapter master now. The chapter is okay. They got Primaris Marines. They're doing okay. Oh, how did they get made? We don't know. The farthest we can trace their lineage back is M36. But due to recent events in their own books, it is hinted that they are a subchapter of the Thousand Sons of the Corvidae cult. Because of book A Thousand Sons, there's a psyker in the book that sees a vision of red suns crying out for their father, and a raven with a blood tear, which can be a reference to them. Ahriman meets with a Blood Ravens librarian, and both of them have a similar book. And Ahriman actually says, "No, because I know that book that you have, and it was my friend's. So what the fuck are you doing with it?" And both of them have the symbols of the Blood Raven on it. From there, we only get their history from Aurelia forward. And that's basically it. I just imagine a group of traitor Iron Warriors just showing up to Robo Golem and saying, "Look, kill us or use us. We followed our papa into battle. That was a mistake." That was basically any argument where any Iron Warrior just decided to, like, switch sides again. That was literally them walking up to the Salamanders and saying, "Hey, so, like, we're being used as meat shields. Can we just fight with you guys? Because, like, you guys actually, like, treat each other pretty well." "Yeah, sure, why not?" says the Salamanders. And basically they went and kicked the Alpha Legion's ass. It was great. But yeah, the Blood Ravens, I have very little, we have very little knowledge about their past. We only have the games and the tangential knowledge outside the games and item lore. I remember hearing about these unknown Marines that just appear in certain battlefields. I forget its name. It was this blonde 40k TikToker. Oh, you mean that one guy? I know who you're talking about. These unknown space marines that just appear in certain battlefields. You're talking about the Legion of the Damned. So the Legion of the Damned are, as far as I'm aware, not around anymore. Oh, Concaradons. Oh, fuck. I gotta talk about my first competitive list. Fuck. Oh, wait, no, you said that's it, boss. Yeah, no, Legion of the Damned were basically demon space marines, and they are no longer canon, as far as I'm aware. Well, it's not the fact that they're no longer canon, it's the fact that, like, you can't play them anymore, which sucks! Because they're legends! I hate it! They were actually a good unit, but basically, they were Space Marine demons, and that's the best way to sum them up. It is a mystery in how they came. Yeah, they were basically Ghost Rider. Essentially, they'd show up, win an impossible battle, then leave. The reason why their models are no longer playable in modern 40K, because they didn't sell. They didn't sell, which sucks. The Concordons were not written by a teenager. They were actually written by actual 40K writers. The Concordons were introduced in the War of Babdab event that Forge World ran, which was basically like Horus Heresy Mark II. They are a subchapter of the Raven Guard, and they are the nomads of the Raven Guard. They were the legionnaires that were banished from the Raven Guard because Korax did not like them, because they were too aggressive and did not fit his niche. The Concordons from there showed up in M36. Well, not M36. They showed up in M40 during the Babdab War, sided with the Loyalists, and no one really knew who they were. They just kind of existed. And they said, okay, you need to go fight the Mantis Warriors. The Concordons said, bet. The Concordons then did a probing attack, see what the Mantis Warriors were about, and intentionally lost their first fight because they wanted to see what they were about and went, okay, we're not beating them in space battle. Let's go attack their home planet. And the Space Sharks then went off to the Mantis Warriors' home planet, proceeded to butcher the population, and when the Mantis Warriors were forced to come out and fight on the Concordons' terms, the Concordons turned the battle around so fucking horrifically that the Mantis Warriors were down to about 200 men by the time they were done with them. The best image to show for, like, the Concordons is this. This hulking Terminator of their chapter master standing over a Mantis Warrior ready to gut him. It was terrifying. And then later on, the Concordons would participate in the final battle of Babdab over Babdab Primaris. They got sick of the fucking attrition fighting. Because that's all the Astroclaws were doing, was just waiting them out. So instead of taking the time, figuring shit out, they dropped the goddamn city. Because Babdab was an orbital city that orbited a gas giant. They destroyed all the grav generators and left. Killing tons of friendlies, but wiping out most of the Astroclaws. And when pushed on this, when the Loyalist commanders looked at them and said, "What the fuck did you do?" they responded with, "And thusly, we won the fight. Don't get mad at us for doing what we did." Very vicious about it, too. Very, very vicious. And then after the Babdab War was over and all the chapters got their punishments handed out, the Concordons got the Mantis Warriors recruits as reparations. These poor fucking kids were thrown in a room, a whole 200 of them, and told this by a squad. Only 10 of you are walking out of here. You're all going to kill each other. Last 10 men win. Cowards will be shot. Survivors will be shot again. And then they left. Then went to a prison, took everything there, except even if everything was nailed down, they took the nails, and then fought the Night Lords, and to quote the Night Lord, I don't want to fight them. I'm scared of them. The Lords of Terror are scared of the Space Sharks. And when the Night Lords knew who they were, like, knew where these guys came from, knew their backstory, everything, and tried to, like, coax them into, like, knowing about it and joining them, the Concordon's captain is quoted as such: I don't care. I'm going to gut you now. They are savages, to put it bluntly. They are unrestrained sociopathic killers who murder, butcher, and leave. They are the kind of chapter you want to go deal with very, very bad things. In a way, they are the Imperium's perfect space marine. There's no nonsense, there's no honor, there's nothing. It's just kill or be killed. You get your orders, you go do them. Enough said. That is the Space Sharks. And I used to play them, and I used to love them. But, they are such fucking assholes. Yeah, never let them near a civilian population. Like, there's, like, the Mechanicus have no records of these guys, so, like, they get no supplies. So they just go and steal everything. Like, oh my god, when I could play them back, like, when I played them, they were the perfect shock assault army for me. I loved playing them, and Tiberos, their commander, was so fun to play, and then they nerfed him into the fucking ground. Like, I can't play him anymore, because, like, how it worked is that, you see these? He has Lightning Claws and Chain Fists. He had no ranged firepower whatsoever. The idea is that you took him with a Terminator squad of Lightning Claws, and you just let him do all the work against vehicles, and that he gave everybody, all the Concordons around him, +1 strength, +1 to charge. He was a butcher! And I loved it. I loved that he could just bear hug anything and kill it. And then they nerfed him and made his Lightning Claws shit. Makes me fucking sad, dude. And note, you do not order them around. I have to go adult, but thank you very much for this. You're welcome. Always happy to help. But yeah, like, you don't fuck with the Concordons. Need your taxes filed? Ask Scullyman. Yep, pretty much. You do not go to the Concordons for anything else. You won't find the Concordons. They show up when they want to. Another incident they were in was, I don't remember the actual name of it, but they were... How to put this? A system rebelled against the Imperium, but unlike a lot of other systems, they actually had a good reason to. Well, most systems have a good reason for seceding. But it was in such a way that if any other system found out what they did, the Imperium itself would crumble. So they ordered 4 chapters. The Sons of Medusa, the Flesh Terrors, the Minotaurs, and the Concordons. To go in and deal with it. And to sum up these 4 chapters' personality quite nicely, the fuck is a civilian? That system is now locked down. Never to be touched. Never to be seen. It is a crime punishable by death for just being inside of it. Because what they did in there was so horrific that the Imperium had deemed it so fucking horrific that it is illegal to be in there. That's how badly these guys act. That's how terrifying this all is, with the space sharks and everything. You do not want to be on the other end of them. Oh, Blood Angels are incredibly nice compared to everyone else. Because they recognize that they're fucking monsters. They just act all angelic about it. Thoughts on our taxi cab boys, lamenters? They are just the most... They are the chapter that is the example of, can we just have a good day? Because they are the ultimate, like, this day sucks, our luck sucks, everything sucks. We can't catch a fucking break. Blood Angels with bad luck is the best way to sum it up. Like, even the Primaris Marines have bad luck. Oh, did we solve it? Did we finally solve it? No? Fuck! That is the Lamenters in a nutshell. And guys, to describe bad luck, it's not like, oh, they occasionally stub their toe. It's so bad that gunships fall out of the sky. Even though I know I fueled it. I know I fueled it. 100%. Where squads' armors will just break in the middle of the battlefield, even though it was just freshly tuned up. And the Mago swore on it. Up and down. It is terrible being a Lamenter. It fucking sucks. Aw, that's cute. It's genuinely why none of the chapters felt bad that they couldn't help defend Ball. Well, they were also still on their penance crusade, so they couldn't. Sucks to be the Lamenters. I'm amazed the Custodies haven't killed them. Like, it's genuinely amazing when the Custodies found the Lamenters, they didn't fucking murder them outright. Like, we would love to have any help, but to leave the bad juju outside the system, please. Pretty much. It's so fucking sad, dude. Oh, the Lamenters deserve way better, but they don't get better. And they're never gonna get better. It's just gonna get worse for them. Last I checked, they were fighting Tyranids. Last time I checked. It's only gonna get worse from here. Yay! I find the Hammers of Dorn to be a funny chapter. These little shits are funny. These guys look at the Ultramarines and go, yes, yes, Gulliman may have wrote the book, but we're the only ones that can master it. The Sons of Dawn are the only ones that can master the Codex Astartes. And they will actively say that to the Ultramarines' face. That is fucking funny. 3 favorite chapters if you have the time. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Okay, 3 favorite chapters. I used to say it was the Concordons, Salamanders, and the Ultramarines. Ultramarines are still my number 1, but my 2 have changed. So, my second favorite chapter is, why am I forgetting their name? Why am I forgetting their name? I like the Silver Skulls. There we go. They are a sub-chapter of the Ultramarines, but they are actually Iron Warriors' descendants. They are actually fairly interesting because they actually pay attention and actually think things through when it goes to battle. Which you think would actually be a very good thing for Marines. But they also have, like, that no-nonsense, like their captain had all those back in the years. The guy who dropped a bunch of Iron Warriors into that volcano. That was their leader, and it's great. My third favorite chapter... Honestly, it was the Astro Claws. The Babdab War was such a fucking mess, dude. Like, it is a actual... It was an actual shit show of the bureaucracy getting in the way of making shit better. And, like, Space Marines not knowing how to talk. And just kind of expecting people who haven't been in this positions they have been to just kind of fucking understand what's going on. Because people in the Imperium are as much a victim of propaganda as the people fighting the wars. And when you're trying to police an entire center of a galaxy and asking for more troops, and then you're told to your face, I thought a Space Marine could handle 1,000 men unarmored. What do you need reinforcements for? Yeah, no, that shit don't go well. Aramis, you have answered the question for me. Thank you very much, and I appreciate you. You beautiful boy. But yeah, those are my 3 favorite chapters. My favorite legions are the Ultramarines, the Dark Angels, and the Thousand Suns. My 3 favorite guard regiments, those have changed too. The Talon are my 3rd because I read their book and it's absolutely wonderful. The Cadians are also a good one. And the Valhallans take number 1, mostly because the Kaifas Kane books. Talon are desert ones, right? Yep, the Talon are deserts. they actually got a whole Horus Heresy book to themselves. It was humans versus Space Marines. It was great. Basically, the whole book is tank fighting in, like, they treat it like it's a submarine, though, because Talon became a rad wasteland. And, like, if you opened up the tank for even a second outside of any safe hangar, you were as good as dead. And so, like, you're reading these tank battles with, like, these humans basically, like, playing it out like they're in a submarine. And it's so good. It's such a good book. If you have the time, go read Talon. It is an anthology book about the battles that happened on Talon. But they're so good, I just recommend reading it anyway. It's got the boss seal of approval on it. Boss, like you very much. Do you have any favorite kit? Oh, easily. Check it. Thousand Suns, Iron Warriors, Black Legion. That's 1 to 3, by the way. But yeah, good shit. Very good shit. The one smooth screwed over by the Primarchs? Screwed over by the Primarchs? I do not like Perturabo, but I like the Iron Warriors. What book would you recommend starting in the 40k books? I heard that Gaunt's Ghost was a good place to start. Okay, so, books to start. Most books are about the Imperium of Man. So, best books to start out with for beginners are the Dark Imperium books, which are of modern 40k. Kaifus Kane is a good starter book. So is Gaunt's Ghosts. Yeah, those are good places to start. If you want to get into 30k, GW actually has a timeline for you, so you can actually read up on the books and not be lost. Horus Rising is the literal first book of the Horus Heresy, and it is a really, really good book. If you're going to read the Horus Heresy, though, I recommend ignoring any anthologies and ignoring the books Furious Abyss and Pythos, because those books really do nothing to advance the plot. But yeah, I'm gonna get going. I'm tired. I've had a bad day. I'm gonna go relax on the couch and cry myself to sleep tonight. I will talk to you all tomorrow. And we will be playing games tomorrow. Hopefully, if the weather is not being shit. So yeah, please don't forget to donate. Please don't forget to share the stream around. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of shit. Guys, I can only do so much by myself. I need you guys to help share this around as best you can. Please, 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 please donate as well. I can only keep doing this if I can keep